Hello, friends. Thank you for tuning in. Please bear with me. This is my first time trying this. Uh, I wish I could give you a better background. Maybe in the future I can give you at least something better to look at on the screen. But at any rate, I have some famous quotes that I like to kind of break the ice with. Um, oh, by the way, my name's Mark. Yeah, I'm part owner of Hive. Praise the Lord for the bees. And I got to admit, talking into a computer is certainly not the same as talking to you folks at the markets. It is, I don't know, it's weird. It's like you're not fighting me or anything. Some of you might do that at the market, but I don't know, I like that. But the computer is very silent. But anyway, here's some famous quotes. See if you know who wrote these or said these. Well, why'd you have to walk into my life? That one was Humphrey Bogart. Yeah. And then there was, ho, ho, ho. That's a hard one. That was actually Santa Claus. He said that. And never, never, never give up. That was spoken to a big, huge university class. That was the entire speech by Winston Churchill. And I think that was during World War II, when they were getting bombarded. Here's another one. Let your food be your medicine. Let your medicine be your food. And that's an oldie. That was Hippocrates about 2,000 years ago. Now here's one. For you spiritual people out there, who wrote this? For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whomsoever should believeth in him will not perish but have everlasting life. And the same fella wrote this next one, which you might be able to guess who it is. I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. They were written by Jesus. Jesus of Nazareth, Jesus the Christ. And I have a lot of friends out there who are atheists and Muslims and Jewish and Christians. And that was my way of tricking some of my friends into hearing the Word of God, which does not come back void, according to the Bible. The promise it will not come back void, so it's now in your heart, whether you like it or not. Sorry. But no, not really sorry. But at any rate, just wanted to talk about some stuff today, just for a few minutes, because I don't even know if this is working, if it's even getting through. But in my newsletter today, I'm sharing a little bit about building the immune system for the fall, because October through March is cold and flu season. That's when we get sick, and the weather changes, and it puts stress on our immune systems. And we want to alleviate that as much as possible, and build our immune system so it'll be strong. So I talk about, watch what you're putting in your body, like the white sugar, the white flour, the soda, crap. That is knocking down your immune system, and it's making you susceptible. I mean, you walk into a room with people, and somebody sneezes near you, and boom, you're done. You got the cold, and the cold can lead to the flu, or airborne viruses and stuff like that. You want to drink a lot of water, mainly distilled, and we'll go into the distilled another time. For those of you who don't know about distilled, it's better. But eat lots of greens, lots of fresh fruits and vegetables and berries, whole grains. We have some products at Hive that can really help build the immune system and alleviate the susceptibility to the colds and flus. The Nile virus, the green Nile or whatever it is, Nile virus is out there pretty strong this year. And I know in New York it affected quite a few people. But we have the elderberry formula, which tastes really good. It's sweet, and that works like a charm. I have a couple who come hometown, and the husband comes with his wife, and he says, "Look at her. She's sick. She won't take the elderberry. I'm not. I take the elderberry." So, at any rate, it's good. And it tastes good, too. Take it like once every day or two. It's according to how strong your immune system is, or how often you should take it. Also, the bee products. The pollen, the propolis, the honey. All that stuff is so good to build the immune system. The honey for the upper respiratory. And I tell people, you're not going to cough as much anymore. You're not going to get as many sore throats. You eat the fresh products from the beehive. The bees are our friends, and they're a gift from God. And that's what some of the beekeepers say. But anyway, that was one of the things I want to talk about. And we have those products, at Green Dragon and Hometown and Forks Farm. But I do want to talk a little bit about, because my passion, I like pondering things. I like to ponder. I like to meditate. A lot of times I'm on the road, sometimes for hours. I've always liked reading. Like John will say, my friend at the market, I read for like a minute, I'm asleep. Which is, by the way, if you want to sleep, it isn't just royal jelly. Just start reading, and boom, you're out. But I like reading the Bible, and I like meditating and pondering certain things. I've been a Christian for almost 30 years. No, 30 years. It's been 30 years. And got saved when I was 29. And before that, I was a wreck. I was a drug addict and all that kind of stuff. But I've always had a lot of questions. I start reading the Bible, and I listen to preachers on TV and on the radio, and I ponder things. I don't understand that. That doesn't make sense. How come it says that there and that there? The New Testament says that, the Old Testament says that, and blah, 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 blah. And my Jewish friend over there says that, my Muslim friend over there says that, and my Jehovah's Witness friend over there says that. And it's like, what's the truth? What's the truth? I want to know the truth. I've always wanted to know the truth. When I was in my early 20s, I had this little book, and I write in it my little sayings. I wander through an endless array of emotions and stuff going through the woods. I can't figure things out. How long is the sun going to stay up there before it burns out? Do I got a billion years? Are the scientists going to figure out a way that my body will live forever? I couldn't figure things out. I talked to a fellow one time. He was going to go to college, and he was going to learn how to ship everybody to the planet Mars because the Earth was going to blow up. And but I imagine if you shipped everybody to the planet Mars, then it'd probably blow up Mars. Then the Earth wouldn't blow up because everybody would be in Mars. But at any rate, I always had a lot of questions. But so I'd like to just talk about a couple of things. You ever think about? I always think about like Adam and Eve. It says in the Bible that God created the earth in 6 days. Well, if you go to Peter in the New Testament, he says a day with God is 1,000 years. 1,000 years is a day. Okay. Now, if we go by that scenario, a day with us is 24 hours. But a day with God is 1,000 years. Like it also says in the New Testament, that the Lord's going to come back. There's going to be a 1,000-year millennium where the devil will be chained up and thrown into hell for 1,000 years. But then at the end of the 1,000 years, we released again. And that it's the day of rest for God. And so he just doesn't want to do any work. He doesn't want to deal with the devil. So he just chains him up for that 1,000 years. And pondering that, and then going all the way back to Adam and Eve, because it always bothered me that God told Adam, don't eat the fruit on the tree. And he created Adam and Eve on the 6th day, the last day. Well, no, it's not the last day of the week. 7th day is the last day of the week. The 6th day, he created Adam and Eve. And then it said on the 7th day, God rested. But it also said God told him not to eat that fruit, but then he ate the fruit. And he got thrown out of the garden, and the rest is history. But what I couldn't figure out is, the devil tempted him as a serpent. He was a serpent. He tempted Eve, and then Eve gave in, and then Adam ate the fruit because it looked good. Why would the devil be there on the day of rest? Because it doesn't fit. If he's not there on the day of rest in the millennium, which is 7,000 years later, after the creation of Adam, So why is he there on the seventh day? Because on the sixth day, God created Adam. He told him not to do this, and then he did it. And I finally feel like I got revelation from the Lord on that. Now, sometimes I get revelation from the Lord through preachers, through books that I might read, through the Bible, sometimes in prayer. And sometimes I just ask God, please give me the answer. This is bothering me. It's been bugging me for 30 years. What's the answer? I think I got it. Tell me what you think about this. God created the earth in all creation in 6 days, 6,000 years. He created the Adam on the sixth day. The seventh day, God rested. That was 1,000 years. The day after the seventh day, the devil was allowed to tempt Adam and Eve. For that 1,000 years of rest, Adam and Eve went about naming the animals like God told them to, and fellowshipping with God every morning, and just enjoying creation, having lots of babies, because, Cain and Abel had to marry somebody. It didn't all happen in 100 years. At least I don't think so. But it just answers a lot of questions. So 1,000 years of bliss where Adam and Eve weren't tempted, so they lived in bliss in the garden, just having a great time. I mean, they probably had a lot of babies, and they ate a lot of fruit and vegetables, and named a lot of animals, and probably talked to the animals. And that's another one. That's another thing. Yeah, the animals talk. Well, the serpent that tempted Eve talked, and she didn't run away. She talked right back to it. So she wasn't surprised that it was talking. So there's a very good possibility that when the curse fell, instead of your cat saying, "Hi, how you doing, master?" instead of saying, "Hi, how you doing, master?" it's saying, "Meow." So. But at any rate, that, what do you think about that? That's it's not the gospel truth. I don't know. Maybe it is. I don't know. It's just something that makes sense to me now. That there was that 1,000 years of bliss, and then Adam fell the day after. I mean, devil probably didn't waste any time, and that's when actual time in the mortal body began, the day after the 1,000-year rest of God. And then that started the time clock, the mortal time clock. I mean, which brings up more questions like, is there time in heaven? Of course it is. But that's another one to go into. God's mathematical. Everything's mathematical. Everything goes around everything. In the universe and in the sub-universe and in us. And it's like everything works like clockwork. But anyway, I'm really getting into a lot of things here. But the main thing was about Adam and Eve there. And another one is other animals in heaven. Are our pets in heaven? A lot of neat things. But at any rate, thank you for listening to me. You can take it serious. You can take me serious, or you cannot take me serious. You think I'm crazy? I don't think I am, because I think about it. I think crazy people don't really think about it. But at any rate, thanks for listening, and you guys have a blessed week, and I hope to see you at the markets. And I'm going to figure out how to turn this off now. Thank you. It will not shut off. How do you shut this thing off? It says